One last thing. I've straightened my hair down since we were still living in Dunsmore Street. We owned a horse start. Well, my parents owned a horse start in Dunsmore Street. Mum sold the property and moved in April 1989. So that tells you how long I've been brushing my hair down straight and plastering it for. Number two, my hair's been near jet black since I was a little kid. And the last photo taken at St. Aidan's Roman Catholic School in 1989, you can see how jet black my hair was naturally. It is naturally near jet black. You can see it in photos. Have a fucking goddamn look, dumb cunts. And then you want to bring up me speaking in other languages. Well, Father O'Graden, I can't think of the nun's name. You see, when Amanda Lee Fleming, my twin sister, and myself, Justin Mark Fleming, started at St. Aidan's Roman Catholic School in Rudy Hall back in 1984, we had to learn Latin. I still have no idea what Amanda learned at school because I don't remember Amanda. And that was because back in those days, Latin was still part of Mass. The only church that really does it now is St. Mary's Cathedral, but Roman Catholic religion, the Mass and the sermons was done in Latin. It was always done in Latin. And when we made our first Holy Communion and went to the nunnery where they made the Eucharist, we had to learn Latin for our first Holy Communion, which is how I still remember parts of the say, Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world, grant us peace, which is Agnus Deus, and that's the only thing I really remember from it. So language started when I was 4. Learn a second language other than English started when I was 4 years of age. However, I picked up languages before that because everyone, all the trotting people and racing people that used to hang around my grandfather was all Maltese and Italian. It was all Maltese, Italian and Lebanese that I grew up around. I didn't grow up in a country town. But yeah, you guys have it wrong. We owned land in the suburbs of Sydney. So I grew up around Maltese, Lebanese and Italian. As for my dad's father, Stanley Fleming, again, not personality disorder, Edith Kavanagh only took in ethnic orphan boys. And one of the other boys that she looked after, while my grandfather Stanley Fleming was living there with her, who she raised, and another guy who actually Stanley used to say was like his brother, he's Maltese. How do I know this? From Dad's uncle, Uncle George Hill. That's how. You want me to continue while you're doing your little scams? Your scams are brilliant, mind you. Absolutely brilliant. You're deadbeat to people. Started Our Lady of the Rosary College in Tamworth in 1992, Year 7. In Year 7, 1992 and 1993, I learnt French. My French teacher was Miss Davis, but the other French teacher was Miss Craig. Miss Craig was my music teacher. Amanda didn't because she sucked up Miss Campbell's ass and learned Indonesian. Because Amanda's a dickhead. I learnt French for 2 years. Then I say 1995, however, I started actually in the end of 1994 because Judy Bohr, it was before Judy Bohr had a stroke, when I started learning Italian, because Italian was part of it. I want to do fine arts, you want to pick up Italian as a language. So I started early on learning Italian before Judy Bohr had the stroke. Then I continued learning Italian, meaning sat down and correctly learnt Italian as part of fine arts. And then I correctly sat down, was learned that back in 1995. And then at TAFE College in Communications, in Newcastle TAFE in Communications. Okay, and that was back in Fine Arts Certificate in 1996. So this still sort of blows out all your bullshit. As for me knowing Lebanese, well, I am from a Lebanese area originally. Okay, simple. And in the year 2000, I worked for the Gazebo Hotel, Church Street, Parramatta, and our entire clientele was Lebanese. So this has nothing to do with me having Lebanese cousins, which I do have Lebanese cousins. Christy and John Saruni. Like, Christy Saruni is my dad's sister, Linda's daughter. But you want to do personality disorder because it works for you, yet you know nothing about me. Doesn't make any sense. So you're not related. These organisations aren't related to me. There's sides of the family. So mum's side, know nothing about dad's side know nothing about mum's side. That's just the way it is. My parents were married in the 70s, divorced in the 80s. When they were married, the families, you know, there was only sort of flickers that were close. Okay, and I'm not going to explain this. For an example, good example of this, my dad's older sister, Aunt Sandra, her husband, Barry Johnson, was close to my mum's father, Reginald George Purdy. My nan and pop, So Reg and Lola Purdy were close to Sandra Fleming, Sandra Johnson, Dad's older sister, so the families all stayed living around each other, but they have no idea about any other family members. For an example, Aunt Linda or Aunt Sharon and their children, or what they've done in their life. It's the way it is. But what I've stated is the truth. So good luck, because all your bullshit in the last 11 years doesn't match any facts. It's just you defaming me, and then you don't like the fact that I've stood up to you and say, fuck off. Because everything you've done's a bullshit mental health working scam. There is not one bit of facts that these scumbags have said that's actually true. I've always spoken a second language. And here we go. If John Cabino didn't want to be such a cunt to me, he should remember when we first met, which was in 2005. He was in Gowings downstairs trying on underwear. Kim Davis from Mossman, she was sitting out the front. She thought I was trying to hit on her. I was looking for a turtleneck sweater. He yells out to Kim that the underwear was too tight. And I said, it was Bombino mutande mutagande culo bellissimo, which is really bad Italian. I'll say this. Bombino mutande muteglande culo bellissimo is the first sentence I ever said to John Cabino. And he flung that dressing room door open and said, who's this Italian? And because I look Italian. So I get it all the time. I'm like, it's Dad's father. It's Dad's father. I look like Dad's father. Dad's father, Dad's sisters, Dad's family, they have that ethnic look. I just look like a Fleming. Okay? That's why. And yes, Mum's mother, so Lola, my grandmother, her name's Lola for a reason, which is what she used to say. Her great-grandmother's French, and I'm not going to keep dancing around this. The statements I've made is the fucking truth. If these bastards want to argue it, then you can take it away from these organisations and you can do it in a civil court, which is where it's going to end up, because you manipulated certain people, groups and organisations such as these little cunts of mental health workers to push your little scam. It's a civil court matter where the mental health workers need to be fucking held accountable. You might want to fuck off. You were told 11 years ago by me to fuck off. I suggest you fuck off, mate. Because this is a matter of civil court, criminal charges, and being sued for damages. And after that amount of damages now in my life for 11 years, hand me over a blank fucking check and I'll write the figure that I'm entitled to on it. It's a lot more than just the 200,000 I had in savings, you dumb cunts.